Hammer. Perfect.
Hey yo, welcome back to another video. Today, we're doing something kind of crazy. Today, we're with the blacksmith doing blacksmith stuff.
Blacksmith stuff.
Alright, well, first of all, I want to start off by thanking him, truly, for making this bad boy for me. It's not anything crazy, but it's nice. This video I was making the railroad spike adventure, and he turned that...
Right there, actually.
Oh yeah, all the railroad spikes. And he turned one of those into a knife for me, so... Thank you.
You're welcome.
And
Pleasure.
We're going to start this off with a PSA about blacksmithing from the blacksmith.
Alright, so I'm Max. Not entirely sure how relevant that is. So, PSA, if you're going to do forging stuff, eye protection is probably your biggest friend. You do not want a piece of scale getting in your eye, and, you don't want to be blind for the rest of your life. That would suck.
Yes, absolutely.
Another important thing. Closed-toed shoes. Do not wear flip-flops. Do as I say, not as I do. And long pants are highly recommended, but not necessary. And if you got long hair, tie it back, because
Things might get a little crazy.
yep. And with that note, things getting crazy, let's light the forge.
This is us lighting the forge. Start it up. Woo!
Fire!
Fire!
Got it turned up all the way right now so that it'll heat up quicker, and then I'll turn it down a bit, because you don't need it going full force.
Yeah. I can't lie though, that is very, very beautiful. I want to put my hand in it.
Yeah, it's really mesmerizing, but definitely don't do that. Before we get started, let me do some explaining. This, as many of you know, is a hammer. They come in many different types. Use it for forging. It's used to spread your material. This is a 4-pound mini sledgehammer. Then right here we got a cross peen. It's got the regular kind of face, and then it's got a tapered thing. It's good for drawing material out in 2 directions, whereas your main face will spread it as much as possible in every direction.
Okay.
And these are your tongs. They also come in many shapes and sizes for different applications. These are used to reach into the forge and grab your hot steel, because no matter what your intrusive thoughts say, you don't want to grab the pretty orange.
Yes, the very pretty orange.
Fire's pretty, but not whenever it, gives you 3rd-degree burns.
Yes.
Now this is your anvil. Most important tool in a blacksmith shop, or whatever I have here. I don't think this counts as a shop. This is what you put your hot steel to hit and shape into whatever you want. Be it a knife, a leaf, a hook, any kind of tool you really need, you can probably forge it. That being like old-timey tools. You can't make a power drill or a sawzall on this thing.
Yeah, there are no machine. You can't make a machine gun on a forge.
It would be really funny to, but you couldn't. So now we're gonna stick our steel in the fire. This is a railroad clip or something like that. I'm not just a piece of railroad steel. Makes relatively good blades.
Oh wow, that's actually, I thought that wasn't even gonna fit in there for a second, but that's a lot bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah, it's pretty big. Alright, while my steel's heating up again, I'm going to explain some parts of the anvil. So, this main flat part that you see, where I've been hammering the majority of the time, this is the face. That's where you do, the majority of your work. This is the horn. It's used for curling things, or for, as you saw earlier with that railroad clip, it's useful for spreading stuff out, to, like, opening it up, to straighten stuff out. Now this right here is the hardy hole. I definitely recommend you make your own hardy tools that fit your anvil specifically. So that way you don't mess up a chisel or your hardy hole or both. Now this is the Pritchell hole. It's used for punching a hole in stuff, or with like a chisel, but instead of a cutting edge, it's just a thing that you push straight through. All right, our steel is done cooking, and we are ready to get it out of the fire and onto the anvil. Now I'm gonna be trying to straighten this. I'm gonna be trying to straighten that railroad clip to use for something like a sword, a dagger, whatever I want really. Might even just leave it as is because I'm too lazy to make a project with it. Right here I just got a big long curved piece of rebar that I use to get stuff that's deeper in, so that I can't really reach with my tongs.
Yeah, you probably can't see in there, but that thing is bright orange.
Yeah. Now remember what I said earlier about intrusive thoughts. You don't want to touch that. That thing is glowing at 1700 degrees, I'd say.
Oh, wow.
Which is a lot. And that's Fahrenheit, not Celsius, thankfully. But still, very hot.
Yeah, who uses the metric system, dog?
Take it to the horn and just... Oh, scale. Oh, it's also recommended to wear gloves. I forgot to mention that. Just not on your hammering hand, because you want to be able to get a good grip on your hammer. I just don't bother because I'm lazy. Yeah, another important tool in a blacksmith's arsenal, a good list of swears for whenever you drop your steel. Remember, it's usually okay to swear if you get burned. That's kind of just the gist of it. Oh, good save right there. And I think we're about out of the real good heat. It's still very hot, do not touch that. Even if it gets the black heats, that's still very, very hot.
Yeah, it's still glowing though, so I wouldn't think about touching that.
Oh, absolutely not.
Is it common to drop your steel?
It kind of depends on, like, if you don't have good tongs fit for what you're working with, then you're more likely to. But also if you're not gripping hard enough, or if you're just not that great at holding stuff. Personally, with railroad clips, I find that it gets dropped a lot. Now we're just bringing it out, straightening it a bit more. Ooh, that's a hot piece of scale. That's why you wear gloves, folks. Stop me because I'm lazy.
Don't try it home, kids. Oh, there we go.
Now we're making straight steel.
That is some serious progress.
Oh.
Woo!
You gotta have quick feet if you're gonna be a blacksmith. Remember, always, try to dodge, do not try to catch.
To all the baseball players out there.
How it started versus how it's going.
That
Some serious...
detrimental work.
Gonna stick this back in the fire. Think I should have a couple more heat cycles before it's straight enough to work with.
There you go.
Damn, that's hot.
So, you know, while we're doing this, I have to ask you, man, what is the worst thing that has happened to you while blacksmithing?
Good question. Do you mean physical or like messing up a piece? Like
Both.
physical pain?
Yeah, pretty much both.
Work-wise, I don't think I've ever actually messed up that bad. I have had a couple swords snap on me in the quench. Heat it up and then rapidly cool it in water to harden it. I've had them both the main ones I've made snap. But I've thankfully been able to make those into shorter swords, which is always good. Even made one into a straight razor with the tang portion. But
Very good shake back indeed.
physical pain, I've lost like all of my arm hair at least 6 times just from the like lighting of the forge.
Oh wow.
Then I've had a lot of close encounters grabbing my material with like these tongs. With these tongs, my first ever set, because these are a weird shape. Good for some things, not great for others.
Yeah.
Like railroad spikes. So I'll be grabbing a railroad spike, which is like, I have to have it this wide open to grab it. And then I'm hammering on it, like I'm holding it like this. And then I'm hammering and it comes flying up near my face, like an inch from it.
Yeah.
Which is very scary, especially when you're not wearing safety glasses. Which you always should be. Do as I say, not as I do. Right here we're just wire brushing off to get some of that forge scale off. Stuff that keeps popping off and burning my hand. Just finishing out straightening. Alright, I think we're about good there. At least for tonight. So yeah, took a real bent up railroad clip from all curly and whatnot to about as straight as you can get with 20-30 minutes of work. Real good progress. And then, you know, just for the camera, let's do a quench. Cinematic.
Yeah, for cinematic purposes.
Now don't actually do that with your good like high carbon steel because that makes it very brittle and hard to grind. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick this back in just to anneal it, which is where you take your already hardened steel and you make it softer. The only reason I did the quench was for the cinematic kind of look. It would be better if I was using oil because then it has like the big fireball, like you see forged in fire and stuff. Always looks pretty, but you know, lose eyebrows that way.
Yeah, it seems horrifying. That is what it's looking like right now. Like you said, as straight as you can get with as much time and effort we've put in it this far.
Remember not to touch that. Alright, so Jaden, you want to do a little bit of blacksmithing yourself?
Absolutely.
Alright. Let's start you off with a leaf.
A leaf?
Yeah, so a leaf is a little kind of keychain type. That helps you learn some of the basics of blacksmithing. How to spread your material out, how to shape it, and then you can get a nice little keychain out of it. Put it on keys, on your wallet.
You know, from seeing me at school, I'm all about the keychain.
You definitely are. So, I think we're going to start with this, a piece of rebar. Now, I'll go ahead and make one, or start making one just to show you how to do it, and then I'll let you take the reins from there, kind of. Well,
Gotcha.
I'll let you grab onto the reins. I'll still be holding them.
He shook it up, and it starts blasting more fire. Alright, man, I have to ask, why did you put it right there?
Because that's about where the hottest part of the forge is. You see, that's where the burner is shooting at. If you look real close, you can kind of see how it's a little brighter of an orange, almost yellowy, compared to the surrounding area.
Yeah, my camera can catch that as well, too. It's burning bright on that side.
Yeah, so that's just, if you want to heat your material up fast, that's a pretty good place to put it, I'd say. Okay, so now we're gonna start making a little point here. You're gonna want to hit at an angle, turn 90 degrees, hit, turn 90 degrees again. You want to hit pretty even, make sure everything's kind of symmetrical. Just gonna keep doing that until we get a nice point. You know how it kind of is very small at the very end and then it kind of widens out?
Yeah.
Whenever you flatten out your leaf, that's what kind of shape you're gonna want.
Alright.
So whenever you get it down to a point like this, whenever you widen it, it doesn't get too much wider than it already is, kind of leading to that point.
Gotcha.
Now that we've got the point kind of made, we're gonna start on our shoulder. So our shoulder is where the main part of our material ends, that being our leaf, which is kind of a cone-like shape now, stops, and our tail for it begins, like the twig part. Right where this part of the leaf would be.
Alright.
Okay, so we're gonna get that part up to temp. which is about an inch from the very end of it, maybe 3/4 of an inch. About an inch, yeah. So we're gonna get that, heat it up. We're gonna take it to the very corner of our anvil, and we're gonna strike right above it, which will leave kind of a notch where the main part of the leaf goes down a little bit while the stuff here stays flat. And then we'll turn that 90 degrees, do it again, and then go around like that so that we kind of get a shoulder, like a shelf almost. You can kind of see how the material is isolated. So that's what hammering like here does. And that just broadens your shoulder, or brings it out. I don't know if broaden is the right word. We'll do that for a couple heats, 1 or 2 more, just to get that material nice and thinned out. Then we'll turn to our point, get it a little bit finer, and then we'll start making the actual leaf shape. All right, so we're about up to heat again. We're gonna do 1 more heat of shaping that shoulder area, and then I'll go on to the head and show you all how I do that. Now, in addition to working on the far side of your anvil, you can also bring your work to the near side to kind of make a shoulder at the back end and kind of show where your tail will end. Now, whenever you're done with your whole leaf, you're going to have this very thinned out. But for now, you want to leave it relatively thick. That way you can leave it on the end of your bar while you're still working on the head. Got that about where we want it, so I'm gonna straighten this out a bit. I will flatten this a little bit, and then next heat we'll start drawing it out with the cross beam. You don't really want to work your steel too dark. Like, I was working it to a very dull red color, almost black. Now with rebar, that's okay because it's a very low carbon. It's still got enough carbon in it that you can harden it like a knife, but not high enough that it'll be too bad. But with a real high carbon steel like that railroad clip, that's something you don't really want to work into your lower heats, because that's where you run a risk of cracking your steel or something like that, which is very bad whenever you're in a fight and you don't want to be swinging and have your blade snap in half. So here we're going to work with our cross beam, and that's just going to help spread it out this way and this way, as opposed to this where it would spread out in every direction.
There you go. I was just going to ask you what the difference would be between them.
Oh, okay. That's good.
All right. Gonna get some action in here.
So Jaden here is going to be hammering while I have my cross beam set down like this. That way we can get more force with our strike while being a lot more accurate, because whenever you're swinging this, it's a very small piece. So you run the risk of getting off of your already small striking steel and marring up your anvil face, which is a very bad thing.
Yes, and I'm going to agree with everything he says because I don't know what he's saying.
Hit. 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 Alright.
Did I do good?
You did pretty good, my man.
I think it's looking a little flat.
Yeah, it's getting there, alright.
All right. I did good.
Hammer. Perfect. Okay, we've got it about drawn out as we're going to be able. So, well, that's actually looking pretty good as is. I might only,
Oh, wow.
I'll start working on the tail end again. We're done with the main portion of the leaf. We're going to work on veining it. That's where you get like those little ridges that go down. all the little line bits that go down, that's where you take a chisel and you imprint that into it. A chisel much like this. I mean, not this specific kind, there's a specific kind of chisel called a veining chisel. It's used for veining stuff like leaves. But since I don't have one of those, I still gotta make it. This will work fine enough, I guess.
Well, here's hoping for the best.
Yep.
All right.
Here's your hammer, my dad. So now we're gonna be doing the veining. I'm gonna get Jaden to strike for me.
Absolutely. Again, I agree because I don't know what he's saying.
We're just probably gonna have a lot of
So now we're going to be putting the smaller lines in the leaf with... Always good to have a physical example.
the ones that go like this, as opposed to the one main up the middle.
Yes, what he said. I just tried to kill a mosquito with a hammer.
Here.
The little head movements help.
Yeah.
Hope you're ready, because I'm ready, and he's ready. We're ready. Hope you're ready.
Wait, let me line it up. All right. Oh yeah, you see it's coming apart there.
Yeah, I see it.
Ah, son of a...
Oh, it came out.
Oh well.
It came out the closet. No.
It's okay, I still accept you for who you are.
Look at that bad boy sizzle. Is it hot?
Not anymore.
Alright.
So it doesn't have the tail that it should, but you can see the veins, how that turned out.
Tilt it a little bit. There we go. Zoom. Oh yeah.
You can see the veins in it that we made with the chisel. Could have turned out much better, but with the tools that we have, I think this is pretty good.
Oh, absolutely.
Now that that leaf's done, I'll go ahead and true up the end of that, and then I'll set Jaden on his course to make it his own.
I'm scared.
Okay. Now that I've got the main shape of it done, I'll go ahead and set Jaden on his way with a lot of instruction, mind you, but on how to make his own leaf.
Look at that beautiful boy heat up. See guys, I'm truly enjoying myself right now. These are the projects I truly enjoy doing. And I don't know, you're gonna get to see a different side of me whenever it comes to things like this. Because not only am I socializing with others, but I'm doing things that I particularly take interest in. And now that my instructor is on his way back, hopefully he's gonna give me a very specific walkthrough so I don't mess this up horribly. There's still gonna be training wheels, but I'm gonna get to swing the hammer.
Stop. Hammer time. Oh crap, that's close.
Alright.
So yeah, you're gonna want to flatten this out a little bit.
And then flip.
Yeah. Okay. And you're about out of heat, so go ahead and stick it back in forward.
Alright. Lord Farquaad. He huffed and he bluffed and he sent an eviction notice.
How to make a torch in 2 seconds.
You almost had it. Never give up on your hopes and your dreams.
Unless your dreams are of world domination, then that's probably a bad idea.
Yeah, that's probably something you should give up on. Get to whacking?
Yep.
I can't lie though, this is beauty right here. It's like a fossilized shark tooth leaf.
Or like an arrowhead, I guess.
Oh, that would be nice.
Could be. That's for a later episode. Stay tuned. Maybe.
Hey, you never know. Collabs like this could happen on the daily. Or weekly, monthly, something like that.
Bi-weekly? I don't know.
This isn't a payroll, buddy. You can't be using those terms like that around here. Oh.
Yeah, don't swing it like that. I don't want to mess up the. Like, do it in slow motion, but.
Oh, okay. Oh,
That's fine.
75% off. Am I hitting this right?
About, yeah. Okay.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Let me take a look at that.
Decent.
Pretty good.
Alright.
Could be better, of course, but, you know, I mean, you're doing good.
Thank you, good sir.
For your first ever blacksmith, I think you're doing a hell of a lot better than I was.
Thank you. I tip my glasses to you. And then switch sides.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Are you ready? Because I'm ready and he's ready.
I'm ready.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I don't know, man. The intrusive thoughts are kind of kicking in.
There we go. Let me go ahead and.
I did not see where that went. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, you know what to do. If you didn't, don't know why you watched this far. So, this is the final product. You're gonna. Oh yeah.
Again, glad a bit.
This right here is the final product. You probably can't see that. I'll probably do a zoom in or something. But yeah, I want to thank my man Max for inviting me to his house and us being able to do all this.
And I want to thank Jaden for inviting me onto his channel. Let me show off some of my skills and hobby stuff.
Well, yeah, I had a very fun time. I know you probably did too, my man. So thank you. Get the handshake on camera.
Yep.
And thank you. See you in the next vid.